Hello and welcome back to the Honorary Chef. Today I'm going to show you how I make a bourbon meatball. Now this recipe involves the meatball, but the bourbon sauce you can use for bourbon chicken. You can brush grilled fish with it if you want. But for now, I'm going to show you how I put the meatball together. And for this, I'll put the ingredients in the video somewhere, but I'll just quickly go through them. You have 1 bunch of basil. You have 1 pound of ground hamburger meat. 80-20 is what I use. And then 1 pound of ground pork sausage of your flavor choosing. I use Jimmy Dean Original. Every once in a while I'll use the Jimmy Dean Spicy. You have 6 cloves of garlic, 1 medium white onion. And let's get to the garlic first. Y'all know I love my garlic mash. Now, the secret with this is you want to get all of the ingredients pretty close to the same size so that they're evenly distributed throughout the meatball, and you're not getting like a little bit of meatball and a large chunk of garlic or onion. And just scrape off that. Little much there. Let me grab a paper towel. Off my knife off. Now this is how I cut, my onions to get them small. You just make little, like 3/16 inch slits all along the top. And then you want to take your knife, be very careful, and make the same slits. And then you want to go like 3/16, and you got that. Okay. Nice and minced. Now, for the basil, I don't mind the stems so much. Oh God, that smells so good. But I take the bigger leaves. Alright, take that. Go out of the way. Okay. And we're going to do what they call a chiffonade. And you're just going to roll the basil up. Okay. And you're going to take your knife at an angle and just cut real thin strips. And then I just turn the pile around and hit it 3 or 4 more times. Oh God, basil smells so good. And you take the rest of it. the vegetables are done, you're going to take not lean berries, and you're going to put about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. A teaspoon of black pepper. And a teaspoon of salt. Now, you're going to mix this together, and then you're going to cover it, and you're going to put it in the refrigerator for an hour. That way the meat soaks up all of the flavor of the onion and the garlic and the basil. And then once that's done, sits in the refrigerator for nice and messy. Get it all mixed together nice. Pork with the beef. You know what? I was thinking about it. You know, if you mix some tomato sauce with this, you could probably turn this into a nice meatloaf. But there you have it. It's all mixed together. It smells amazing. Now I'm going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator for an hour. And then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we make the meatball. Okay, now that we've dealt with the meat and it's sitting in the refrigerator for an hour, I'm going to show you how to put together the bourbon sauce, and that will simmer on a low heat while we're prepping the meatball. Now, this recipe is, if you mess this recipe up, then you just need to stay out of the kitchen, because it's equal parts of everything, and it can't get any simpler than that. And it's just 4 ingredients. We're going to start with 1 cup of firmly packed light brown sugar into your pot. We have 1 cup of ketchup. Into your pot. 1 cup of barbecue sauce. Now, I make my own barbecue sauce, and that's a video coming way down the line, probably not till summertime. But today I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's just original barbecue. Now, you can use any barbecue sauce that you want, but it's 1 cup of barbecue sauce. And then my favorite, the bean. 1 cup of Jim Beam. You can use Jack Daniels. I've made it with Jack Daniels before, and it ends up being the same. And we'll taste in these meatballs. Into the pot. And that, my friends, is it. You want to whisk everything together. Oh, you can smell that bean. Now the purpose is, and you want to cook this on low, stirring occasionally, because the brown sugar and the ketchup and the barbecue sauce is going to want to stick at the bottom. If it sticks at the bottom, do not scrape the bottom. This is just like a cheese sauce. If it sticks at the bottom, you can still salvage it. Just transfer it to another pan and, you know, carry on. All right, so we're going to put this on heat, and then when the meatballs are ready to roll, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we roll them and put this together. Okay, now that we have the bourbon sauce on a low heat to thicken and mix all the flavors together, and the meat is set in the refrigerator for an hour, I'm going to show you how I roll the meatball. You want to get a nice, like, golf ball size. Squish it together like that, and then you just want to apply just a little bit of pressure and roll it in your hands. And there you have it. Nice meatball. We'll do one more. And you want to do it over the bowl because, you know, little bits and pieces like to try to escape every once in a while. And then just roll it. Nice, beautiful meatball. You can see the basil, the onion, and the garlic. Oh yeah, gonna be delicious. All right, I'm gonna finish rolling these. Y'all don't need to see that. And then once these are done, we're gonna pan sear them. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a large skillet, and then you're gonna put them in one at a time. Now the secret to keeping a meatball is to roll the pan so that the meatballs actually brown on all sides so that they keep that shape. And then once we're at that point, I'll bring you back and we'll put this all together. Okay, now that our bourbon sauce is done, it's thick, it's delicious, it smells bourbony and sugary and delicious. And here's the meatballs. Now I left another note in there for, you know, after you saute them, you have to bake them in the oven. There will be a little note in this video for that, but you know what, let's try this. Are you excited, Steve? Mm-hmm. Because they look amazing. Now, you know what, let me just, I didn't bring a plate, but let me just see if I can cut one of these open. Oh, look at that. Moist, juicy, delicious. Let's grab us a paper towel, Steve. I didn't realize I was going to be getting my hands this messy. All right, so pick a meatball and let's try this. Since we don't double dip here, we could pick a meatball and dip half of it in, you know, the bourbon sauce, and then you can eat the other half without it. And there you go. Look at that. That's a nice smother. I mean, look at that. That's a really nice smother, but you see how that sauce just glazes that meatball? Oh, so delicious. It's not overdone. And the sauce with the basil and the garlic, Steve, I mean, what do you think? That's
good.
I like the fact that you dunked the whole meatball in the sauce and just said, let's go in balls deep.
Well, we don't double dip, so.
This is true. I'm gonna have to go for another one. I'm gonna go the smaller one, and I'm gonna try Steve's method. And just roll the whole thing around in it. And look at that. And let's just go for it. Now, I will tell you one thing, that right at the end of the cooking process, this bourbon sauce was a little too sweet for me. So what I decided to do to cut down on the sweetness was add a 1/4 cup of orange juice. And it doesn't matter, pulp, no pulp, calcium, no calcium, whatever. 1/4 cup, and that cut some of the sweetness down and added an extra layer of flavor. So you may choose to do that. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and post a comment down below if you have a meatball recipe that I might be turned on to. But until then, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you on the next one.